Welcome in, Renegades. Now, today's a special episode. We are going to be talking about something that you need to know in crypto, something that has to be top on your list of safety protocols. When you're in crypto, let's just explain this a little bit. So, today we're going to be talking about a wallet. Now, we're going to be talking about threats that could be perceived in the ecosystem. Now, when I go to meetups, let's just explain this first. So a big thing of topic is safety. Anytime there is a bug or something in the system, there will be an exploit. There will be somebody out there who exploits that. And a lot of the meetups that I go to, we brainstorm as the people behind the scenes, as content creators, as the developers, as the community leaders. We all kind of get together in the community too. Everybody kind of gets together and comes up with these ideas of, okay, if this happens, what are we going to be doing to stop that? Is there a protocol or procedure available to stop future threats? So a lot of things like internet computer solves like bridge hacks, but after it happened, right? And so what we're looking at today is the future of wallets. So being in crypto, I'm sure there's been a lot of people that have been hacked, one for unsafe passwords, another one wallet drainers. There's just a lot of things in crypto that you have to be absolutely careful for. And so one of the threats that was perceived, we're going to be going in and talking to about today. So one of these perceived threats is password hacking, right? So how do we make it so where our password is safe enough when computers are used to try to hack the password? So quantum computing. So basically what it does is it's like a microscopic math problem, right? And it runs all of these microscopic computations that can crack passwords and also keep passwords safe even from other quantum computers. So the cool part about CKB, they are starting to really interact with this technology that's been around for a while that is going to be a perceivable threat. And what I really like about what they're doing is getting to this before it becomes a major problem in crypto. I perceive in the next few years that, quantum computing, technologically advances, then the hackers that, are the first people to kind of get their, fingers or their feet wet into these, new technologies and are going to absolutely be able to wreck people's wallets, possibly. So what we're going to be talking about today is amazing because CKB is the first crypto to ever do this in the history of crypto. So what we're going to be looking at today is an article, and this article is going to give you guys an idea of why this is needed. So first, I want to just go over quantum computing as Nervos sees it. And then we'll talk about the wallet, why this is so important. So how Nervos CKB achieves quantum resistance in the age of quantum computing. So this is pretty interesting to me. So the rapid development of quantum computing is beginning to pose a real and urgent threat to current cryptographic systems. Unlike classical computers, which operate on binary bits and require astronomical amounts of time to solve cryptographic puzzles, quantum computers use qubits that exist in superposition. This allows them to perform multiple computations simultaneously and potentially break widely used cryptographic algorithms, including those securing today's blockchain networks, in a fraction of the time. So this is not only important to the wallet, but this could be vital to blockchain networks because of smart contracts, because of passwords, because of a lot of different things, that this could actually cause a potential problem very soon, not even too far in the future, even right now. because they already have a lot of quantum computers that are breaking a lot of barriers, and we don't want them to break the blockchain barrier yet until we're ready for it. So then we'll have quantum computing as a backup. So protocols such as ECDSA and RSA, which underlie the security of Bitcoin, and many other networks are especially vulnerable. As quantum capabilities grow, cryptographers and blockchain developers are racing to implement defenses that will secure networks in a post-quantum world. Leading this charge is the Nervos network, whose foundational layer, CKB, Common Knowledge Base, is designed not only with flexibility in mind, but with built-in support for quantum resistance cryptography. So the quantum computing's threat lies in its ability to undermine the mathematical problems that classical cryptography depends on. Two major quantum algorithms highlight this risk: Shor's algorithm and Grover's algorithm. Shor's algorithm can efficiently factor large integers and solve discrete logarithms, the mathematical backbone of RSA and ECDSA. Its sufficiently powerful quantum computer becomes available, it could extract private keys from public ones, breaking the core of public key cryptography. Whoa, it could steal your private key. Dude, no. So this is absolutely vital. And I think with the way that CKB can integrate with other networks like Bitcoin, and it can actually integrate with any network, I think, it would rise a great value in ICP, because we rely in ICP on that ECDSA threshold signing, and then two of the best blockchains in the world would be together, one for AI and one for quantum computing. These are the two cryptos that both do these things. So this means that funds stored on traditional UTXO-based networks like Bitcoin, where public keys are revealed once outputs are spent, could be exposed. Grover's algorithm, while not as devastating, weakens the effectiveness of hash-based algorithms like SHA-256 by cutting their effectiveness security in half. This presents challenges to proof-of-work mechanisms and Merkle tree structures, both foundational to many blockchain platforms. So Bitcoin is a proof-of-work. It also has the ECDSA threshold signing, so that, like certain cryptos aren't going to be vulnerable to it, to quantum computing, but the majority of cryptos in crypto right now are proof-of-work. So every crypto needs this for sure, whether it's for their integration with other cryptos or if it's for their blockchain directly. And I think that's one thing that CKB is going to do. And I don't know if you all knew that it had the capabilities to do, is to integrate with any other blockchain and then offer things like this quantum computation. So this is pretty cool. With major tech companies such as Google, Microsoft, and NVIDIA making rapid advances in quantum computing, Google's Willow processor reportedly hitting over 100 qubits, the time window to prepare is closing fast. To stay ahead of quantum threats, researchers have been developing PQC. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Post-quantum cryptography, algorithms designed to resist attacks from both classical and quantum computers. Several families of PQC algorithms are currently under review and standardization by NIST. Lattice-based cryptography, particularly the crystals Kyber, MLKEM, and crystals dilithium, MLDSA, schemes, has emerged as the frontrunner due to its strong security and efficiency. These two algorithms were formally approved as FIPSs 203 and 204 in August 2024. So that's a lot of technical stuff, but is Nervos CKB built-in quantum readiness? This is the very important part. Unlike many legacy blockchains that are tightly coupled to fixed cryptographic primitives, Nervos CKB was architectured with cryptographic agility at its core. Rather than relying solely on hard forks to adopt new cryptographic methods, CKB uses a flexible scripting system built on its cell model. And this is what makes CKB so immersive and adaptive, because of the way that it does use, just the traditional stuff, but it uses a flexible scripting system built on its cell model to be able to expand and really integrate itself with stuff like quantum computing, other blockchains. It just really makes it ready. And RGB++ is the main one that connects it to Bitcoin. So it does a lot of interesting things. In CKB, all assets, including tokens, smart contracts, and user logic, are stored as cells, which are programmable and modular. These cells are not hard-coded with a single cryptographic standard. Instead, they can be updated or extended with new cryptographic schemes by writing custom lock scripts without needing to change the base protocol. Instead, they can be updated or extended with new cryptographic schemes by writing custom lock scripts without needing to change the base protocol. This design has already borne fruit. Nervos currently supports Sphinx, a NIST-approved stateless hash-based signature algorithm considered highly secure against quantum attacks. So this is really interesting. We're going to talk about the Sphinx later. Nervos's smart contract environment, the CKB VM, like the Ethereum virtual machine, is based on the RISC-V instruction set, which allows for low-level crypto-agnostic computation. Developers aren't locked into a single language or algorithm. This flexibility means that as new PQC standards emerge, they can be implemented directly in smart contracts or lock scripts without waiting for a hard protocol fork or virtual machine redesign. So they're going to, put in hybrid approaches and practical transition paths. The challenges. What are the challenges? Well, quantum resistance does come with trade-offs. Post-quantum algorithms, especially hash-based ones like Sphinx, typically result in larger signature sizes, sometimes 10 times or more, compared to ECDSA. This impacts storage, bandwidth, and transaction size, which are critical metrics for blockchain performance. Computational costs also vary. Some algorithms are CPU intensive, which could increase transaction validation times. So Nervos's CKB modular approach means developers can test and optimize these trade-offs in specific applications rather than being forced into a one-size-fits-all upgrade. So, yeah, it's not a distant theoretical concern at all. It's futuristic still. I'm going to stand by my words on that. It's very futuristic, but the time is now. Like everything that we, felt was futuristic in the past, we're kind of coming to right now. Blockchain 10 years ago was futuristic. Now it's not. And we prepared for blockchain. Now we're in it. So that's where I think we're at with this. It's needed right now. It's futuristic, but it needs to be done now. So then let's go into what they're actually doing with this. It's pretty interesting. Now, they have implemented this core strategy of implementing quantum resistance from quantum computing attacks. So basically what they're doing is they're preparing to keep you guys safe in the future, keep your money safe, because of a lot of things. A lot of exchanges went down, a lot of cryptos went down last bull market. And so now the big thing is safety, security, and longevity. One, Nervos has been around for a very long time. They've been holding it down. Two, they are making advances in Bitcoin. They're making advances in quantum computing, quantum resistance because of quantum computing. And so a lot of these different aspects of, building on CKB have become fruitful and started to actually take spark and take life. So Nervos's community developer T, his GitHub's project, Quantum Purse, has completed the CKB EcoFund Spark program. We spoke with T in a written interview discussing the project's origins, key technical decisions, and some behind-the-scenes stories. So we're going to go into that. So this is somebody who is actually building a wallet, his Quantum Purse, that he's building for CKB. And so before we go to that, I want to take a minute to talk. So basically, there's this thing called the EcoFund for CKB. Now, this EcoFund is something where creators, developers, people supporting the CKB ecosystem can go and get funding. They can get leadership programs where they're led to success through this community DAO, because it sets you up for your future to have a plan. So what it is essentially doing is it's funding any good ideas, good projects like this quantum purse, and making them accessible for all of you guys to use. If you are a creator or you're a developer, you can utilize that version 2 of the community DAO. And because they are starting to do some content creation stuff where they're bringing people on, they're starting to do developing where they're funding these developer things through like the Spark program. They have a lot of different things that they're doing in the eco. So I would definitely just go check out the Nervos Foundation. I would be checking out the CKB community, Nervos Nation. I would be going to Nervos Talk and all of these different places so that I could get the best and the latest information besides what I'm showing you here today. So this is very important that you guys understand the technical competency of CKB. So this is so cool because I would never think that quantum computing would have been a threat in my lifetime. And with the advances like from Google and then being able to use 100 qubits, this is absolutely groundbreaking. And so this is needed right this very second. And CKB is the first crypto to ever do this. So in the Nervos community, developer T's project Quantum Purse has stood out winning a $700 USD grant from the CKB Eco Fund Spark program. So this was a written interview. I'd love to have T on the channel. There was a few things right here that I wanted to talk about in this that I read that was pretty interesting to me. So the topic of CKB's quantum resistance was discussed several times in the Telegram chat group Nervos Nation, and I partially joined the fun, assuming the foundation was building it secretly. One day, Lee texted me about building a quantum safe wallet, and I just liked it immediately, so I texted Matt. A few options were considered, but eventually building a separate wallet was the most viable path, and I started building the wallet not long after. Now, this is the Spark part where I think it's very interesting right here. Quantum Purse is at this point a considerably hard to use wallet compared to Neuron in many aspects. Whoever comes to use Quantum Purse must have a long-term mindset and a solid confidence in the Nervos network project. And for this group of users, Nervos DAO is a crucial application to shelter their investments from the secondary inflation long term. A desktop app was, then this is the part that really interested me. So a lot of the things in the beginning are going to be a little harder to use, but I'm going to explain why it's not going to be that hard to use. So the desktop app is something that you might want to be a more experienced user for. So this is what sorry, I am choking here. All right, a desktop app was inevitable for Quantum Purse. I wouldn't recommend using the web wallet unless it were secured by passkeys. The same technology used in Joy ID. However, passkeys aren't quantum safe. So rather than relying on them, I made Quantum Purse a password-based wallet and aimed to deliver the entire solution to users in a self-contained, more complete form through a native desktop application. PWA app, like Joy ID, was also considered, but its non-direct distribution channel was not the number one priority, so it was dropped eventually. So this is the big part that I want to talk about real quick. So the traditional security of passkeys are not in themselves safe, because if somebody hacks your system, they can get access to your passkeys. They would have to have your system in their possession, most likely, for the passkey. Or do like a SIM card switch. So there are ways to get passkeys and actually steal people's crypto, steal whatever they need. So passkeys are great, and I've never actually had a passkey stolen. I'd lock my SIM card, so I keep my passkey safe. So for the most part, passkeys are safe to be used, especially with stuff like Joy ID. Love that wallet. It was a little difficult for me to navigate at first, but once I started using it, very easy. It's just you got to learn it, and I'm sure that's the same thing with Quantum Purse. It might seem considerably hard to use at first, or even just compared to the neuron in some aspects, but it really, is just a logarithm, longer password. Um, so CCC adapter, simply speaking, is an integration that few other wallets in the ecosystem have already built or been supported, e.g. Joy ID. But in the case of Quantum Purse, it is done at a lower level in the arch of the CCC core. It has a different signer because of the Sphinx Plus based, and it has a different client type. CKB Lite Client JS on WASM. So this is very technical, but these are just the new building blocks, and combining them was an uncommon way to build a CKB DApp. Thankfully, CCC Arch allows such customization, and Hansen really nailed at providing accurate, constructive comments, so I just went on quite smoothly. Also, Pocket Wallet, another Nostr-based wallet, probably had gone the similar path on CCC. CKB Lite Client JS really solidified knowledge confirmation along the way of development. So this is very important for the future of crypto, for the future of CKB. So you guys just need to understand CKB is doing some huge stuff with Bitcoin. They're doing stuff with quantum computing, quantum resistance. There is a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes in the Nervos scene. So what we want to do is start to look at where this is going to lead us. So I see CKB in the top 40, maybe the top 30 in this bull market. So I've been following CKB for years. I personally hold CKB and have held CKB for quite some time. I do utilize different wallets in the eco. I'm very particular and very specific. I think Joy ID is a good wallet because it makes me feel safe. And when my funds are safe, I feel safe. And when I feel safe, I do better in my life. When my funds feel secure, and I know that there's nothing that can happen, I can hold them for years, or I can sell them tomorrow and I'm still going to have them no matter what. So that's where I'm at right now. Let's go in and look at the charts, guys. We have a lot to consider today with CKB. It is definitely a good buying opportunity. We might actually even see a dip. So the market is getting ready to blast off. So I wouldn't be waiting to buy big bags of CKB under, like 4 or 0.003. You possibly could, but I would be scooping it up at these prices because it might take another little dip a little bit further. But if you catch that dip exactly when it happens or have a limit order, is probably the only way you're going to get into it. Now, we're not seeing a lot of volume in crypto at all right now in altcoins. We're seeing Bitcoin go up and then smash. Altcoins will go up and then it just smashes altcoins down again. The volume kind of dissipates. But if we look back, we can see it doesn't even take a whole lot of volume to move CKB up to 2 cents. We need anywhere from 50 to 100 million, and then it'll go up to like that 200 million range. So what I'm looking for is massive amounts of volume, and this is just in the last year. We saw a nice amount of volume come in over here. This bull market, we saw the up to 50 millions, but we didn't see nothing like we saw earlier. So all that's happening in crypto right now is we're waiting for the volume to come in. So right now is just the time to, test out these wallets, throw like $1 of CKB in the wallet, see if you can, interact with the wallet. If you lose the $1, you throw another 50 cents, like just throw a little bit of in there until you learn how to use it. You probably won't even lose anything because I'm sure it's not that hard. But if you're a new user, I would definitely start with Joy ID and then start moving, learning how to use that and then moving to other stuff. But with all the advancements coming crypto wide, especially in CKB right now, the interesting stuff happening with Bitcoin runes, with Bitcoin just skyrocketing over and over and over again, we need cryptos like CKB building side chains, doing everything that they can do, integrating with cryptos, creating new things on their native blockchain like they do all the time, is why I think CKB is going to be successful. We're going to see it up to 20 cents. I really believe that we're going to see CKB up to 20 cents. We saw CKB at about 3.5 cents. So that would be a new all-time high if we got above this area. That was in 2021. And actually in 2024, we saw it go back to almost a new all-time high at 3.159 cents. So I believe that we could definitely see a 10x from there to at least 35, maybe $50 is my high. I think we could go 10x from the high, but I think we could also even go a little bit higher than that. So let's look at the charts though. I want to see if there's anything in here telling me that we have some good news coming in. Okay, this is the daily. So what I am seeing is a breakdown. So I'm not just going to be bullish. I can't just be bullish, even though I want to be. Is a massive breakdown from this support level. We still have a nice long-term support that I made like a year ago. I don't even know how long ago that was. But as you see, it went right down to touch my previous support a long time ago. We broke this massive upward trending support. So this is going to be a resistance at about 5.466 cents. Now, if we do go down, it's going to be right down to about here. And we're going to hit this at like 4.8. But I think we could even hit this one down at 4.5 cents. If we decide to go down. I also am seeing lower lows over here. So not only did we break down, oh no, we don't have lower, good. So this is good news. Looked lower to me. So we have higher lows. This is good. Yes, we broke down, but we have higher close on the lows, which means this could reverse. Now, everything is kind of trying to push the market down right now because it's getting ready to explode. So if we do see it go below this line, I would be buying in this section right here. I don't know if it's going to go that low. I do not know that because we have higher highs going up to here, and then we have lower highs, but we have higher lows. So what I'm thinking is that it's going to kind of bounce between here. We're going to get another close, which is in the buy side liquidity, somewhere up here, bounce back down, and then blast off. I think it's going to do one more lower low, and I think that I can tell you a lower high, and I can tell you right where that's going to be too. Exactly where that's going to be. So that would be so I would say right here at 5.55 or 005533 is where I think that we're going to see the higher low. So it would be like right here. It would break up, test that, maybe close a little bit above this, go back down, test it, boom, and then break out. That's just what I think is going to happen. There's a possibility of a movement down to this level as well. So I'd be watching both of these levels for a movement. If there's a breakout down below this one, I would be looking to here. If there's a breakout above this one, I would be looking up a little bit higher to there, and then even up to here. So about 5.7. So that looks pretty good on the daily. Now I do want to take a look at the weekly. The RSIs are actually resetting very nicely. We're under that average volume, so it isn't going to take as much to move the market. So once we get under this yellow line with the RSI, I love the RSI, especially CKB's RSI on the daily. So once we get under this RSI, the volume, it means the average volume is going down. So the average volume goes down and the volume goes down. So all it takes is a spike in volume when this starts to move down here, and it doesn't even matter. And that's why other cryptos do so well when they break out of this average price. And then if it comes at an area like this, then we could really break out and move to the upside. Now, I would like to see this RSI go a little bit lower, but it doesn't need to because we're sitting right now at 46 and the average is at 51. So if we continue to even keep the amount of volume we have and then move to a big amount of volume and start actually moving in the market before the volume comes, the market starts to move, then the volume comes in, we have the momentum from the market, and then we also have that volume that pushes the market. So we need both of those things simultaneously to happen, and we're going to see a breakout of this area up here at about 6. This Fibonacci extension right here is the perfect level, because it's going to tell us right here where the next resistance is going to be once we break out of this with volume. So we're going to get up here to about 006, and then we're going to have this big buy side liquidity area to break out of after that. Then we go look at the weekly, and there's a path to 50 cents to 20 cents. I think we could do 50 cents as a high, 20 cents as a low, but I think 35 cents is maybe where we'll see CKB. To be honest, I think it can 10x from its all-time high, maybe a little more. But if we look at this all-time weekly, we can see a massive downtrend has been broken. So this is true throughout all of crypto. Let's get rid of this. I just want you guys to be able to see a little bit better. What is going on here? Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. And then you can see we broke this massive double downtrend long term, all the way from September, almost a year ago. This is a year-long downtrend that has been broken. So if we do go a little bit lower, like I said, I don't think it's going to be much lower than the line down here, about 4.6. There is a possibility it goes a little lower and wicks below it, but I don't think it's going to close below that. So we might even see it go down to 4, maybe wick down to there. I doubt it. Maybe the top here, 4.2, 4.3. But I think the long-term bullishness, the big downtrend, and the short-term indicators on the daily with volume. Now on the weekly, it's going to take a little bit more volume, just the average amount though. So that's the good part. When we have less volume on the daily and it keeps trending downwards and we break out of that, it could be with some power. What is happening here is a longer term situation where the average volume is growing, but the volume lately is going down. So that means over the long term, we're keeping steady with volume, waiting for that average to come back down so we can test it as resistance and then start moving up in volume again. And when we go really high, we can see the weekly absolutely rip. So I'm waiting for God candles, guys. So these candles are going to happen. We're going to see another one like this. We're going to see a few more green ones like this. Except I think they're going to be a little bit bigger. We had a nice bull flag that we called here. And so CKB is absolutely getting ready to crack, guys. This is the crypto that I'm watching for this specific section of the bull market. Anything under a penny is a steal to buy CKB. This has been true. And as you saw, it went almost to a new all-time high last year. I believe it's going to go to a new all-time high this year as we get that second leg of this bull market that we've been waiting for about a year now. And as you remember, in 2020, we had that big pump, and then we had the biggest one in 2021. So we had our 2024 pump, and now we're going to see the biggest pump in crypto in 2025. So guys, get ready. Go check out Quantum Purse. Go check out RGB++. Go check out and follow the Nervos Foundation and Nervos Nation, the community support. Go check out that DAO proposal that they have. If you are just a regular Twitter user, like a little content creator, they do have bounties that you can utilize to help support the CKB ecosystem and earn some CKB yourselves. They're really out there supporting community members. They're building some cool stuff for us. So utilize everything that CKB and the Nervos Foundation has for us while it lasts, because things do not last forever and they will be gone. So I'd go check it out now. All right, guys, that being said, goodbye and good CKB. Bang!